All right, here we go.
All right, welcome back to another episode of Wisco Fanatics. We are doing a Tuesday night special as the Packers play on Thursday. So, wouldn't make much sense for us to go live on Friday, would it? But no, we are going to recap the Packers versus Chargers game. Tyler and I went live immediately after the Chargers game with Simon. So,
Yep.
if you wanted to check that out, that was our immediate reaction. This is going to be our more analytical, more deep dive. And then we're going to preview the game versus the Lions, Thanksgiving matchup. And you know what? I know that there's kind of some negative, feel around the team right now with the injury news that has come out today about a couple players, but we'll get into that. But I still believe that we have a chance. I still love our chances, to be honest with you.
Hmm?
I mean, we're young. We don't know any better, right? So who the hell knows? But as we're gonna get started, we're gonna start with our power pair.
Stars. Power pair tomorrow.
Sorry, I'm ahead of myself. I was just writing down my power pair. We're doing our stars. I wrote down my power pair. We're gonna do our stars from the Packers game. You want me just to rip it?
Yep, do it. You got the top two. I got the next two.
All right. So, first star of the game, we went with Jayden Reed. This guy, definitely looks like he has the potential to be like an NFL star from the slot position. He could be the next great NFL gadget wide receiver. Use him in all different ways. Obviously, the Packers did that on Sunday. He had 4 catches for 46 yards, and he had a long of 19 yards. He had 3 carries for 46 yards and a touchdown. That's a 15.3 yard average, and he had a 32-yard long. So the guy's just making plays in both areas. A couple great blocks in that play, by the way. Our next star was Jordan Love. Love it. His first 300-yard game. First 300-yard game, he was 27 of 40, 322, 8.1 average, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. That's amazing. 54.5 QBR and a 108.5 quarterback rating. So those are all good things. Things are starting to look up for Jordan Love as he's becoming more consistent with the deep ball and the medium. Jayden Reed is absolutely dominating in the middle of the field, and now they're using him on end arounds. Also, I said I wanted Watson on an end around, and they used Watson on an end around. It wasn't as successful, but just giving the defense the look is what I was looking for. Who else do you have for the stars, buddy?
Okay, so covering for Bryant, we're starting with Kenny Clark. Kenny Clark, kind of quiet day, so he almost could have been underrated performer, but the plays that he made were so big he had to be a star of the game. Yep. One being a pass defense right at the end of the game, and then one being the forced fumble when the Chargers were inside the 5-yard line. He also had 6 pressures on Justin Herbert. So pretty good game for Kenny Clark, which was needed after kind of a rough game against Pittsburgh. Then for the underrated performer, we kind of lumped them all in. But it's Luke Musgrave, Tucker Kraft, and Christian Watson. Combined, they only had 81 receiving yards, but they all made some pretty key blocks at certain moments in the game, so we wanted to give them credit for that. So while we wait for Bryant, who will be joining us shortly, we're going to start with some of our other segments that we have. So I'm going to go first on the rookie tight ends. Now, this is going to be kind of a tough segment to cover because Luke Musgrave did have 4 catches for 28 yards, but it sounds like the abdominal injury that he had was pretty severe to the point where he was in the hospital through yesterday.
Man.
Which is crazy. Like, we didn't hear anything about it, that he was going to the hospital. We didn't really seem to even notice during the game because the play that he got injured, which we'll talk about later because it's actually a really good play by Jordan Love. We'll talk about that play later. Jake even said it before the show. It's wild that he stayed in the game afterwards.
Yeah.
Next, Tucker Kraft. For a guy who's just like 5 straight weeks of playing better football than he did the game before, it's really fun watching Tucker Kraft continue to get more opportunities. I posted the snap counts for the Packers tight ends, for the rookies, and for Josiah DeGuara. And Josiah DeGuara played 1 offensive snap. Ben Sims played 19. Tucker Kraft played 30, and Luke Musgrave played 46.
Yeah.
So, Tucker Kraft had 2 catches for 32 yards. He almost had the touchdown of the year. Almost. If he goes a little bit upfield before he hurdles, that's the touchdown of the year for the Packers.
He might He might have a coming out party on Thursday, dude, with the
He
news.
might. You're correct. He is going to occupy an extremely large role on Thursday.
Yeah.
Potentially even one that he might not have even anticipated having. Obviously, the injuries will do that, and I'm sure if you asked him about it, he's going to have a next man up mentality. He's like, I got to take advantage of the opportunity, things like that. And we liked the draft pick, so we're excited for him.
Yeah, really. I mean, when you really think about it, from where he was week 1 to having this opportunity now, that is a complete 180, dude.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Love it.
And then Benny Sims, in my opinion, just keep him on special teams. Like this week, obviously, that's not going to be an option because of Luke Musgrave, who's going to be out. It is confirmed that he's going to be out for Thursday. He's going to need to play snaps, but there was one distinct play where they were trying to do a run play with Dylan, and it was actually supposed to be a flea flicker, but Sims actually ran into A.J. Dillon in the backfield.
Yep.
So that's just... I want to say just keep him on special teams because we have the other two, but with only one of the other two available, not quite an option. And Josiah DeGuara also sounds like he's going to miss Thursday night. So that's not even an option. He has a hip injury. So,
well, I couldn't tell on that block field goal a couple weeks ago. He didn't even move.
Anyways, passing game distribution. This has probably been my favorite segment to cover so far this season. Because it's been so good. 10 different players targeted this week. 10 different players with receptions this week.
Love that.
That used to be like an outlier when things like that would happen, and now it's a consistent thing.
Yeah.
We are 10, where it's week 11. 10 games in, there has still not been a single game where Jordan Love has targeted fewer than 7 different receivers.
That's awesome.
So, Romeo Doubs, Jaden Reed, Luke Musgrave targeted 6 times each. Dontavian Wicks targeted 5 times. Christian Watson and A.J. Dillon targeted 4 times each. Jordan Love threw 40 passes, and no guys had over 6 targets. That is great distribution, and I keep saying it. Forget the depth chart. Forget this wide receiver 1 thing. Let's have a bunch of guys who can be the wide receiver 1 on any given week, and the defense never knows who it is.
Yeah.
Packers only had 2 drops on Sunday, which is encouraging. That was 6.9% of the plays.
Nice.
I couldn't leave it out.
No, can't.
Well, yeah, 40 passes, and no guy had more than 6 targets. That's wild. You look at Justin Herbert, who threw 36 passes, and 16 of them were to Keenan Allen.
Well, he's pretty good.
I mean, it's Keenan Allen, but still, that's nearly half of passes thrown were to Keenan Allen.
Right.
People are like, oh, he had 116 receiving yards. Well, he should have. He was throwing the ball 50% of the plays.
Yeah, true. If he didn't, they would have been in trouble.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to drop down to you. What about the red zone offense?
Oh, well, this one's going to be real short and sweet. I'm not even going to lie to you. I was going through, and I was like, we didn't go in the red zone? We didn't go in the red zone. So, like, when I do my third down, my run D, and my red zone offense, I have to go play by play. So I have to look at every single play again. So I go through every single play 3 times after I watch an entire game of every single play. So I feel like I'm a psychotic. So going through the red zone offense, we went into the red zone and we kicked the field goal at the end of half. That was the first time we were in the red zone. We scored a touchdown before that, but it wasn't in the red zone. After that, the next time we were in the red zone, we had a 1st and 10 at the 12. Love threw it to Dobbs for 1 yard. And then we had a 2nd and 9 at the 11, and that was when Watson threw a touchdown to Watson. Or Love threw a touchdown to Watson. I mean, we really only ran 2 offensive plays in the red zone.
Yeah.
It's 100% touchdown in the red zone, which we were talking about was a big thing, right?
Yes, we were.
And the Chargers, I know we're going to get into it, but we held them to some field goals in the red zone. So that was a big thing.
Yeah. And obviously it's one of those things where literally anything that happens on the defense that doesn't go exactly perfectly to plan is immediately Joe Barry's fault.
You know what, man? Can I just freelance for a sec?
Is it going to be about Joe Barry and the defense?
Yes.
Can we wait until we get to the defense, or is it going to skip your mind by then?
No, it'll probably skip my mind by then. It's just a random thing that I'm thinking of right now.
I'll put the thing up then.
Okay. Just a little random thought on the defense. Everybody's saying they could have had this because they had drops. Okay? Why didn't you say that for the Packers when they had drops? Hello? I just got to get that out there because that's all I saw on Sunday. Oh, Joe Barry has to go. We got lucky that they dropped the ball. Well, guess what? For a couple weeks, other NFL defenses were getting lucky that we were dropping the ball.
Yep.
But you don't want to say that. You just want to rip on our players when we drop the ball. But you don't want to say, oh, they got lucky that we dropped the ball. No, it's we suck when we drop the ball. But now we suck and they drop the ball. That just doesn't make sense to me.
We kind of touched on this on Sunday a little bit. That context only matters when it fits your narrative. So that's what I said with that on Sunday, and we'll probably talk more about it when we get into the defensive segments. But we're gonna welcome in Bryant. So, Bryant, you are the wide receiver development guy. So, what are you looking at for the wide receiver development?
How fun was that game to watch our wide receivers play?
Fucking A, dude.
Like, that was the first thing I put. That was a great game to watch from the wide receiver core as a whole. Reed obviously had an amazing, huge game. Dubs flashed great hands at least 3 times. Even on that deep ball where we've seen accuracy improvement, Love is getting pressure just a little behind him. What does Dubs do? Jumps up, snags it out of the air, comes back and grabs it. Watson got in the end zone. On top of that, yeah, he didn't have many yards, but there was a couple of huge blocks. I'm pretty sure he had a huge block on the touchdown run or one of the end arounds by Reed.
Reed. Yep.
Heath even got involved, caught a ball. That's it. Yeah. So Heath got involved, caught a ball, and had a great block on that touchdown run as well. Wicks had.
What Chargers page did you take that off of?
I was just going through random comments, and some dude said this on there, and I was like, bruh, I'm saving this forever, bro. Caught Damian Wicks over right now, just wide ass open.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt.
Wicks had 3 receptions over 25 yards. I mean, I can't remember what the stat, but that was like the first time in many, many years that had happened in a single game. So really, it was just what a fun game by the wide receivers. Yeah, there was a couple drops and stuff, but Love wasn't exactly perfect. There was a couple drops, but overall, it was such a fun game to watch. And we were kind of ahead of the 8 ball last week when we said I think Jayden Reed might be the best wide receiver on this team.
I said offensive player.
Yeah. And so right now, I don't think we can argue that. I think, I don't want to ruin my plan. What I'm going to say, kind of our key to the game, but he's going to be involved in that this coming up Thursday because unfortunately the injuries. I'm sure I know you guys opened with this, but
yeah.
I counted it was 17 people on our injury report versus 3 on theirs or whatever it was. So
yeah, I think you're close. I think it was 16-4, but it's all estimated because they play on Thursday.
Yeah.
Yep.
No practice yesterday, and today was a walkthrough. So
I think it was 6 Packers that haven't participated at all. So you can pretty much chalk them out. And there's some big names, right? Dontavian Wicks, Luke Musgrave, Aaron Jones. I mean,
the 2 that are out for sure are Musgrave and DeGuara. Those 2 are out for sure. Jones is for a week, so based on how quickly they brought in Patrick Taylor and James Robinson, I'm going to assume that Jones is out this week.
Yeah, good assumption.
Yeah, and we'll see on Wicks, and then everybody else is just kind of the same stuff.
Guys, touch base on the wide receivers real quick. The thing that I love is we have 4 different guys that do like one thing like super, super good. Like Wicks, obviously, I shared that because he's an amazing route runner. You don't just get open like that without being amazing. Dubs, crazy hands. I know Brian talked about it. He is great with his hands, especially away from the body, and that's why Love trusts him so much, right? And then Watson, obviously, with the speed. You just can't teach that. You either have it or you don't, right? And then, we just have guys that are all 24 and younger that are just very good at specific areas, and they can all kind of help each other grow in those other areas. And I just love the potential of this group.
Complimentary.
And Watson had a chance that if Love looks his direction to have a huge play, I'd have to see the all 22 to see where the safety was lined up. But on that first fourth down play we played where he kind of threw it quick to Musgrave, if you wait a half second longer, you see Watson just screaming across the middle of the field right behind the linebackers. And I don't even care if there's a safety. If he's not within 10 yards of him, he's probably not catching him or it's a huge gain. So, like, I think, Watson is getting there. It's getting close, I think.
Dude, I was jumping up and down in my living room like, throw it to Christian, throw it to Christian. I was like, come on. And he missed him. I was like, no, he was wide open, bro.
Yeah, you throw it behind, you just flutter it right behind the LB there, linebacker, and he's gone probably.
Oh, man. Yeah, he was going to open up the floodgates.
And I guarantee you the Packers, if they'll see that on tape when they're doing tape review.
Yep.
Barry said, hey, guys, any updates on Jones? We're just a second-half team. I think they've kind of gotten away from that at least the last couple of weeks.
They've started better the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, a little bit more balanced. Jones is week to week.
13 in the second half.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty balanced this week. And last week it was, 7 and 13?
Yep.
And I think the field goal was missed in the first half this week too, wasn't it? I can't remember exactly.
Yeah, it was the one in Denver was in the first half too, I think, too.
Yep.
All right. Bryant, I'll throw out one other thing on the receivers. I mentioned this to Jake already before you were in here, but Jordan Love threw 40 passes, and no wide receivers had over 6 targets.
Yeah. I heard someone, I won't say their name, but I was listening to something this morning. They're like, it was nice to see. It was some of the people we talked about that are just pessimistic all the time, no matter what. It was nice to see him finally them open up and spread the ball around. I'm thinking, like, have you watched any game this year? Tyler's literally talked about it. I think no less than 7 people have been targeted every single game this year.
Yep.
So for them to say that, I was just like, oh, it was nice to see him get Jaden Reed involved. What are you talking about? He's been involved in the entire year.
Dude literally leads the team in receiving yards and is second in touchdowns.
That was like, who was it talking at halftime? One of the tight ends or whatever they had as a color commentator. He's like, well, they'll need to get Reed more involved here now that Aaron Jones is out. Or it was nice to see that they got re-involved after Jones. I'm like, it was Gronk. Yeah. What are you talking about? All of his plays were before Aaron Jones went out. Like, he was involved. Like, just watch the game, man. Like,
yikes. Whoever that is lucky I didn't see it. I probably would have lost my shit. Okay. All right, Brian. Offensive line in the running game.
So, offensive line played okay, but I will say, evolving door at left tackle and then Ryan coming in and out, like, just stop. Like, do what is consistent. It's getting old. Runyon has showed that. I don't know what's happened. He took a step back last year, and now it's even worse this year. Either make the move or don't. I did see, Walker. A lot of people are kind of like, oh, he's not that great. Well, I think he's rated 40 something out of 80 something tackles in the league right now. So I would give you, if you're considering he's playing a left tackle, he's probably, somewhere in the middle there. And this dude was a 7th round pick last year. Like, give him some time. Yeah. Like, that's another thing we talk about Goody quite a bit in the draft classes. We have a 7th round pick right now. Granted, he fell because, he likes to hump people on the ground, but whatever. Yeah, we still drafted him in the 7th round.
That is a thing that happened.
And he was a 7th round pick last year. Just be a little patient with him. He's playing okay for that position. Like, so I don't know if they're going to continue this Nyman Walker, like, swapping series, but I feel like it's hard to get someone set in the game when you do that. But overall, they played pretty good. Love took 4 sacks, I think, this game, but for sure one he held on way, way, way too long.
Yeah.
There was another one on the fumble that was it Walker or Nyman. One of those two did get beat very cleanly, but by a future Hall of Famer in Khalil Mack. So I guess who's there to recover that fumble? Zach Tom, unspoken hero every week. But so overall,
he's the guy that would go on top of the trophy for the underrated performer of the season. It would just be Zach Tom would be the golden guy on the top.
Yep. And then for the running game, it was ineffective, but it was also marred by injury. I mean, the 3 carries that Wilson came in for, he looked really good. So Reed's end around was a bright spot, an awesome play. The one I wasn't a fan of, I'm not a fan of a condensed end around. Like, I don't understand why our offense is so set on, okay, we need 1 yard on 3rd down. Let's pack everyone inside the tackle box and then try to run it up the middle or try to do that end around. If they're going to do that, I'd rather put him in the slot, spread it out a little bit, and then do that kind of play to maybe create a little bit of space for him to make a cut. And where they did it, he had maybe one lane to try to cut through. And if he didn't get it, he didn't get it. And we've seen what happened there. We ended up going for it on 4th down and didn't get it. I wasn't a huge fan of that end around. The other 2 end around where they let him get up to full speed and he was flying around the corner, very effective. I wish they would do. I know they tried to end around with Watson, but they did all this razzle dazzle right before it. That's another guy. Just give it to him full speed and let him run. Like, so
as opposed to the end around with Watson, I like when they do the touch pass where Love is in shotgun and they have him cutting across formation and they do the touch pass to him.
Yeah.
That
Because
lets
then
Love
he
beat
doesn't have
the
to break
defense
stride. I agree.
sometimes we're trying to get a little too cute. It's just like get them the ball in their hands, and those 2 are going to make plays because they have speed. You're not going to tell me that it's going to be a very good chance, unless whoever's out there blocking on wide receiver, that Jayden Reed is probably going to get a yard when he's screaming full speed across and he might be better in those positions because, Watson is faster, but with Reed being a little more compact, he can cut a little bit easier. So,
I like when they put Watson closer to the formation too on those plays because he's made some pretty good seal blocks on outside linebackers and defensive ends to allow guys to get around that corner.
Yeah. So overall, the running game just wasn't effective. And honestly, I'm jumping ahead here, but I don't even think we should give it much of a go this next week either. So, but we'll talk about that more later.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. 3rd down offense, Packers were 4 for 8 in the first half, 50%, an average of 6.8 yards. Not bad. Not great, but not bad. Second half, 3 for 6. So again, 50%, 6.3 yards. So a little bit better. Not bad, honestly. They've been kind of around that 8-yard mark over the last few weeks. So to be under 7 and under 6.5 in the first and second half against the Chargers defense, which, like we said, on paper is loaded. Games not played on paper, at least for the Chargers. Okay. Bryant, special teams.
Atrocious again. I literally, sorry, but I put, after that down Levitt play, I said, why is this dude on the team? And I put cut the clown on my paper. Because
so you're a terrible person. Got it.
Yeah, pretty much. So I said I have never hid that I'm a different animal when I'm watching the game. Okay, but if someone wrote that he had like 500 and something special team snaps over like the last year and a half and 14 tackles, and we're just like keeping this guy on. Zane Anderson can be Levitt, and I feel like he can actually play if we needed to.
Zane made a pretty big play.
I don't know what he was thinking there. Like, you can't get two. If you're on the team for one job and you decide to suck at that job and get 2 penalties in the same play, and then you get in an argument with your coach, you have no job anymore. I don't feel bad for him at all. I know that Matt LaFleur is not going to come out and say that. He said it's because of the running back position, but with Zane Anderson showing what he can, we're young anyways. You might as well get some of those rookies on the field and let them, see if they can replace the down Levitt position. Like, you can't be putting us on the 5-yard line. We get to the 50-yard line that drive. If we would have started at the 25, or it was actually a good return by Nixon. If we start there, I know that maybe the drive doesn't go the exact same way, but you're taking us out of field goal position theoretically, right? And honestly, people think that Barry's on the hot seat. I don't know how Rich is on this team next year. If this
I've been saying that. I've been saying
nobody's job is safe.
So we're 28th.
I haven't said the name specifically
right now. Yeah. So we're 28. And unless Rich is going to take his assistant head coach position, if they're like, hey, we're going to demote you and go back to special teams and give you a go there. If he says no to that, I don't know that he'll be on the team next year. And quite honestly, something's got to change. If Carlson has a rough game in Detroit, I think we might see a change over than anybody. I don't know if they'll do it or not, but I know he's a rookie and we're patient with him, but he hasn't earned the patience like Mason Crosby earned the 1 year. Like, he's not Mason Crosby, right? The year that Mason Crosby missed all those kicks in Detroit and stuff, and we stuck with him. The next year he came back and hit like 99% of his kicks or whatever crazy number it was.
That was like 92, but yeah, you're right.
Yeah, Carlson hasn't earned that.
The year before.
Yeah, Carlson hasn't earned that. I think the next year Mason Crosby missed 2 kicks. When was the last time we felt comfortable on a kick? Like, it was weird. It's like, as soon as he missed that one, and then I seen him in warmups when I was in the stadium in the Rams, and I messaged you guys before it. I said, he does not look good in pregame. And ever since then, it's like it's fallen off the rails. We are not good enough to leave 4 points off the board. I get it's a 52-yard field goal. I get that Love took a sack before that, and then we had a stupid penalty, which was like, I think a hair of a movement from Watson that one was or something. I was like, I don't even know how this.
Yeah, dude.
Like, he sneezed or something. I don't know.
Packers have been called for some pretty trash false starts.
And then I'm watching the Eagles do their stupid tush push 16 times last night, and I'm just thinking, like, tell me no one's offsides. Then the only one they throw is on Kansas City. Get out of here with that. Anyways, Nixon was a lone bright spot on special teams again, so he's starting to heat up, and I have a feeling he's going to take one to the house in the next couple weeks.
He leads the NFL in return yards by like 200.
And that looks nice, but in reality, it's like
It
20
needs to translate better yet.
You didn't tell me that guard's not offsides? His head is
ready.
Fuck the NFL sometimes.
Yeah, like
his head is
the point of
entirely past the
emphasis.
line.
No,
Yeah.
it's only a point of emphasis against teams that aren't
That
the fucking
aren't
darlings
in the
that are
running.
supposed to be
that
Super
aren't
Bowl
in the running. Hey, did you guys want to know a stat I seen today? If the Packers, what was it? If they win one of these next 2 games and then run out, they have it. Or no, it was if they lose the next 2 games but then win out, it's like they have a 70-something% chance of making the playoffs or something crazy at 9-8. If they win one of them and then win out those games that we've talked about that they should have an okay chance of doing, it's like 92%. So
Somebody posted it that right now the Packers are the 8
yeah, we're the 8th seed right now.
in the,
I thought we were
eighth
the
in
7.
the NFC.
No, 7th would put us in the playoffs.
Yep. 7th is the last playoff spot. We're 2 games behind Minnesota.
And look at the teams ahead of us. Seattle's starting to falter. So they're struggling. So, I mean.
They got 2 games against San Francisco yet.
Yeah.
And Minnesota has to play us.
I think we make the playoffs at 9-8 if we can get there.
That
This
would be
is total
actually insane. That would be insane.
Could you imagine? Okay, because we played this game last year, and I'm not ready to go there quite yet. Like right now, it's a possibility. I'm not ready to go quite yet to like we need to believe that it's.
We need to fight in the next 2 games. If we don't lose, we need to show that we're fighting and
Right.
we're close in these games, and then I'll
Right.
start having a conversation about the last 5 games being very
Exactly. Yeah. Once it gets like we're at week 10, or we've played 10 games, so there's 7 games to go. So we're a little over halfway. Let's say the Packers win one of the next 2, like you said, and then they win the following game.
and it's a serious conversation.
Then we gotta start looking at the schedule a little bit and start thinking like people counting them out at 3-6.
Yeah.
All right. Going to the defense, looking at the secondary, it was an okay game in the secondary, except for the fact they dealt with Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen's a monster.
He is.
There's no denying that. That said, Ballantyne only gave up 1 reception on 4 targets. Valentine only gave up 3 catches for 22 yards on 8 targets. So those 2 are both very good. Nixon and Owens had tougher days, but those 2 were actually really good against Pittsburgh. So they kind of flip-flopped who had the good games, who had the bad games. That said, Keyshawn Nixon did blow up a screen on 2nd down inside the 10-yard line for the Chargers.
Like a boss.
He at least had something to kind of redeem himself. Jonathan Owens, unfortunately, didn't. He had a pretty ugly missed tackle on the long tight end touchdown.
I don't even know if I call that a tackle attempt. I don't know what the fuck that was, dude. I'm just gonna.
And that's one of those things where it's like, oh, we gave up a 51-yard touchdown to a backup tight end. We need to fire Joe Barry. It's like, bro, the guy was in the right spot to make the tackle.
Didn't even attempt it.
I don't know. That's what
Dude,
I got.
that was like an advanced high five. Is literally what that was. That was.
Good job, buddy. You're gonna score.
Dude, that was trash. I was so pissed.
Yeah. And it's fire Joe Barry. Like, no, that's not on Barry.
Yep. Barry told them to just let him walk in. Yep. That's what he told them in practice.
Barry's like, hey, this guy's never scored a touchdown. Let's let this Make-A-Wish kid get in there. Like, it's not.
Why'd you have to bring it there, man?
Well, that's how people act on the internet.
I know it is.
It's just ridiculous, honestly.
Oh, random appearance by Brian's wife.
Hi, Amanda.
Hi.
Hi, Amanda. You're supposed to say hi, Amanda.
Amanda,
Hey, off topic. How was your guys' one good week at number 1 in hockey? North Dakota's there now. So.
Hey, settle down.
leave him alone. He's got one fun thing to do in North Dakota.
2. She just left the room.
Oh, fuck. We're getting canceled today. Jake, how was the rush defense?
To be honest with you, I feel like the numbers lied a little bit.
Yeah.
So Herbert was having flashbacks to the Rose Bowl when he was at Oregon because he ran all over the. I'm sorry, I was thinking about it when he had the
Dude,
big
I
run.
had that. That was completely not even in my mind until you
Dude,
said
you didn't
that.
have any flashbacks on Sunday?
No, that didn't even cross my mind. Different colored jerseys. I was not even thinking about it.
Bro, I saw a quarterback who could sling it, and he was running all over our defense. I was having flashbacks. It was
I
like
hate
World
you
War
for
II.
bringing
for
that
me.
up.
I'm sorry. Anyways, Herbert had 8 carries for 73 yards. It's a 9-yard average.
It was 73. I didn't even look.
Well, he
He
had
had a
like
lo-
35 on one play.
Oh, that's true.
He had a long of 28.
All right.
Eckler had 10 for 64. He had a long of 37.
Did he not look right on that run? I was like, is he like slowing down? Or maybe he was never that
Dude,
fast, but I just
The
felt
natural grass fucks with people for some reason, man.
He looked a little chubby.
yeah.
Kelly had 6 for 13. So why I said it was a lie, because in total they had 24 carries for 150 yards. That's a 6.3 yard average. But if you take out the 27 and the 37 and the 28-yard run, that's 65 yards. They would have had 22 carries for 85 yards. That's a 3.8 yard average. And that's honestly what I thought it was more like. I mean, Herbert really was just choosing the correct time to scramble. He's a good player. I just seen an update. Wow, according to Bill,
He had a lacerated kidney.
Yeah, I saw that.
What a tough son of a gun, dude, to stay in the freaking game after that.
I have the play, so when we talk about Jordan Love later, we can see the play.
Yeah. Well, the Packers had 3 missed tackles against the run. I know we're going to have a whole separate section for tackling, but they had 3 missed tackles against the Chargers in the run. That's pretty on par for their average on the season. So
the tackling, I hate Simon for missing the last 2 games to cover because it's been so rough. And this is why over the course of the season, I've spent a lot of weeks calling the Fire Joe Barry narrative lazy because there's more at play here.
Mhm.
So the Packers had 12 missed tackles this week, a week after having 13 or 16. Sorry. They went from 16 last week to 12 this week, which is better, but being better than the worst I've ever seen is not a big mark for you. Now, Jake brought up the rushing that they had 18 for 150. 109 yards after contact.
That's not great.
That is over 2/3 of their yardage after contact.
Yep.
Last week it was 119 out of 205. Now, if the Packers can continue the trend and go down another 4 missed tackles and only have 8 next week, I could live with that. However, the last time the Packers played the Lions, Green Bay had 13 missed tackles and was one of the 3 200-plus rushing yard games that the Packers have given up this season. And again, over 50 yards of that 211 rushing yards that the Lions had, was after contact, 120 out of their 211 in week 4.
The scary part about that, too, is they weren't using Jahmyr Gibbs as much as they should have been, and now they are. Like, that dude is a serious problem.
Yeah, I mean, Montgomery's not a joke either, dude.
Yeah, he's having a strong season.
You could tell that Montgomery was good with the Bears.
Spoiler alert.
Now he's behind probably the best offensive line in football.
Yeah. All right. So, Jake, defensive line and pass rush.
Yep, so lump these bad boys together. So with the D-line, I'm going to start there. In the run game, Slayton had a tackle, had 1 miss. Clark had a tackle, and he was actually – I thought he was pretty good redirecting runs and kind of controlling double teams.
His gap responsibility was much better than it was against Pittsburgh.
Yeah, his impact wasn't really a stat in my opinion. Like he was just doing what he was supposed to do, right? Wooden had 1 assist tackle and Wyatt had 1 tackle that was just in the run game. Now, when you go to the pass rush, we had 2 sacks, 3 quarterback hits, and 16 quarterback hurries. That is a big number. Mm-hmm. The sacks were Gary and Carl Brooks. Yeah. Carl Brooks got his 3rd of the season. Gary got his 6th of the season. In terms of quarterback hits, Preston Smith had 2 of the 3. He's up to 7. Gary had the other one. He's also up to 7. You go to hurries. Kenny Clark, 6.
Yeah.
He's up to 19 on the season. Preston Smith had 3. He's up to 13. Wyatt had 2. He's up to 22 hurries on the season. So quietly having a pretty dang good year, in my opinion.
Nice.
TJ Slayton had 2. He's up to 8. Walker and Egbare and Brooks all had 1 apiece. Walker and Egbare are at 6 hurries. And Carl Brooks is up to 9 hurries, in limited snap count. So Carl Brooks, he's looking like a player, bro.
Him and Wooden, dude. I'm big fans of those, dude. They continue getting more snaps.
I know Brooks is already a big dude, but 1 year in the NFL, like weight room, conditioning, everything, this dude could be an absolute monster.
Bro, technique, bro. Dude, Carl Brooks is going to be like a real player on this team.
Yeah.
I think he already is.
Yeah.
And like the potential that he's flashed is monstrous.
Yeah.
Nice timing, Barry. Right as I said monstrous, Barry said Brooks is a beast.
Remember that? I think Brooks had like 2 10-plus sack seasons in college, and everyone's like, "Well, let's see if it translates." Well, guess what? So far, so good. It's starting to translate.
I saw a lot of people saying, "Oh, he's at Bowling Green." I don't give a shit. Also, Barry, I'm really looking forward to your weather report this week. It's going to be interesting.
Aaron Jones went to UTEP, so
yeah.
On the season, Carl Brooks has 3 sacks in 240 snaps. Which is
he's playing all over the line though. He's playing DN, he's playing nose tackle.
I would say he's got 3 sacks, 1 quarterback hit, 9 hurries, 4 passes defensed, and he's only missed 1 tackle.
Yeah,
pretty good.
I'm a fan. Bryant, how was the red zone defense?
I know you guys kind of talked about it, and I agree. Like, you can call it luck with the drops or whatever, sure. But guess what? They didn't execute. Everyone's always the sun. Guess what? We played in the sun too. It was the grass. Guess what? They talked about how their coach, he made a huge emphasis on cleats all day. And what happens on the last drive? Eckler falls and slips on the ground because he probably didn't have the proper cleats on. That's not the Packers' fault. That's the Chargers' fault. So no way to slice it. Probably our best defense in the red zone was their miscues and their drops. The fumble was good. He did fall on that one, but guess what? It still got punched out, and guess what? We still recovered it. So, we made the plays that we had to. They were 1 for 4. You can easily say, well, they should have been 4 for 4. Well, guess what? They weren't. At the end of the day, they're 1 for 4 because they make mistakes just like every other team does, and they hurt them. We've done this all year. The Packers have done this. It was nice to see the ball bounce in their way one time.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's been, like we were just talking about playoffs, we're so close on those other games. Did you see that stat? We were 1 for 4, and same with the Chargers, 1 for 4 with points that's games that within 4 points. That tells me that this team's been competing all year. We've been very close all year. It's just not swinging our way this year. When we learn to win, those are that 1 and 4, even if that was 2 and 2 or 3 and 2 at this point now, that's a huge difference we're talking about, in our standings and everything. So
Barry said the weather report is indoors. Jake has done that before.
That's what I was gonna say, honestly.
They're in a dome. That's what Jake usually says.
Let me say something about the cleats real quick, because this is always just baffling to me that teams watch. You can't tell me that an NFL player's never watched a game at Lambeau and watch people slip and talk about the cleats.
Can't tell me that's not in their scouting report, dude.
Like, how the heck? Like, I told my son, I was watching the game with my son. He's like, why are they slipping all over the place? I was like, because he plays on turf. He's used to playing with certain kind of cleats. So, these certain cleats are made for turf and he can run faster. You have to put longer cleats in, which slows people down. So it's either you run the risk of slipping because you want to try to be as fast as possible, or you put your big boy pants on, you put the big boy cleats on, and you just make it work.
Yeah.
And nobody wants to. And Justin Jefferson literally hit a ref with a helmet last year because he was freaking out. Just put the damn cleats on, do it.
I will say on the one that was on the last drive that people are like, oh, if Eckler doesn't fall, he gets a first down. Eckler was wrong. He planted on the wrong foot. He tried to cut off of his right foot. That was the first mistake before the cleats.
I didn't even see that.
Yeah, he tried to cut to his right off of his right foot. So his whole body is going this way, and he's trying to plant on his outside foot to go this way while his foot is going this way.
And I know their coach mandated the screw-on cleats, so I'm surprised that they should have been able to change them throughout the game, and they must not have.
Halftime they should have.
Yeah.
That's called making an adjustment. Reggie. Okay. So Jake, third down defense.
Third down defense was a little rough, but good quarterback.
We knew the Chargers were a good third down team.
Yeah,
I know we
I'm
covered
not
it.
even mad about it. I mean, there was just some plays where Herbert, he ran for a first down on a third down. We gave up 2 touchdowns on third down. One of them was that piss poor tackle attempt, and then the other one was the Keenan Allen touchdown. But
that throw was just disgusting,
dude. That was a freaking rope.
I mean, there's a few quarterbacks in the league that make that throw.
Yeah.
Justin Herbert is one of them.
Yep.
Yeah, we used to have one of them. So when I see it from another team, I'm kind of like, I remember we had that.
We might still give him a chance.
Oh yeah, hold you, yeah.
I know that Love has a good arm, but dude, I think of one throw with Rodgers when he had like a broken leg against the Cowboys and he was going to his left. He was off the wrong leg and he fucking throws a fireball between 2 people. I'm like, oh hell no. But anyways, on 3rd and 3 and shorter, they only had 1 attempt. We didn't hold them. They didn't have a lot of short third down attempts. They went 1 for 1 there. 3rd and medium, they picked up 3 of their 7. So they were pretty good in the 3rd and mediums. And then 3rd and 7, they picked up 3 of their 6. So they were 7 of 14 overall. They went 0-1 on 4th down, which that was a weird way to start the game where we didn't convert a 4th down and then they didn't convert a 4th down.
Big stand by the defense there.
That was weird. But yeah, just the 2 touchdowns on 3rd down was really the thing that kind of stuck out to me. But, when you look at the context of the situation, it's like 1 crazy throw and 1 really shitty tackle attempt.
Yeah. On the subject of coaching, again, we kind of talked about Joe Barry already. I really don't have a ton of coaching complaints. However, if you want to change Joe Barry's defense, the solution that I gave on Sunday was to just never let any offensive players ever cross the line of scrimmage. That way they can just never gain yards ever.
Yep.
Yeah, just play press coverage, borderline offsides, and then just make sure they don't ever cross the line of scrimmage. Running plays too, just make sure they don't ever cross the line of scrimmage.
Yep.
Just never move forward by the opponents, and then we'll have the perfect defense.
I think that checks all the boxes. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah. In honesty, now though, we're talking Justin Herbert and Keenan Allen. And even Austin Eckler, like what I said was probably one of the best quarterback, wide receiver, running back trios in the league against rookies, practice squad guys, and veteran Jonathan Owens in the secondary. Like we have to temper our expectations. If Jair was playing in this game and Keenan Allen still went 10 for 116 and a touchdown, sure, I could understand a little bit of disappointment or frustration.
Mm-hmm.
However, Corey Ballantyne, that's a rookie and a practice squad guy. And then we're talking Keyshawn Nixon in the slot. And then Anthony Johnson Jr., rookie. And Jonathan Owens, a veteran cut from the Texans.
Can we talk about Anthony Johnson Jr., how hard that dude hits? I thought for sure that was going to be a flag in the red zone. I mean, end zone.
But he did it well.
He smoked him so hard. Unlike the clown you have on Denver that just got off suspension from a hit during our game, then goes around and tries to kill Dobbs. Like, there's a certain way to hit, and Anthony Johnson Jr. seems to know what it is.
Yeah.
He hits hard.
He went shoulder to shoulder.
So,
yeah, that was a great body control by Anthony Johnson Jr. to go.
If that guy caught the ball originally, he will. I promise you, he's not holding on to that.
That's going flying into like the 3rd row.
Yeah,
bro, that might have popped in the air and been a tip drill. To be honest with you, with where he hit him,
could be
hit him on the shoulder, so maybe it pops up in the air.
Yeah,
could be. And yeah, you brought it up. I mean, even the announcers are like, that's got to be a penalty with how hard he hit him. And then even the announcers are like, oh well, yeah, he hit him with the shoulder on the shoulder. Like,
that was pretty much as textbook as you can call it, right?
Yeah,
I think they were trying to say he launched or he was, defenseless receiver or something.
Yeah,
not really. I mean, he was facing him. I mean, that's good.
Look, we've seen how the flags have gone against the Packers this year.
There has been.
That was a nice one.
Right.
I'll say there's here. Yeah. So.
Barry said I ended up muting the TV and turned on the radio broadcast. Yeah, we've had a handful of games like that. I actually talked to somebody on Twitter about that. The fact that they put Jonathan Vilma in a Packers-Saints matchup, like, bro. Oh, my God. The NFL is fucking dumb sometimes.
I don't know. They're
I got it. Let's put this guy who played most of his career on the Saints. Let's put him in a Saints broadcast. That's supposed
Yeah, he won his one Super Bowl with them, so he probably doesn't like him very much.
Yeah. He'll probably be no problem being impartial.
Yeah.
Okay. But like I said, rookies, practice squad guys, and Jonathan Owens, we are in no position to be demanding stops from the secondary. And the pass rush, I get it. It plays a part too. They got to figure out more ways to dial up more pressure, which they did this game. So I will give them credit for that. But I mean, they have to help each other out. The coverage has to help the pass rush has to help the coverage, and the linebackers are just everywhere in between. And I hope we get through at least one game with our middle linebackers staying healthy.
Jesus, right?
It seems like between Quay and Devondre Campbell, they've played, I want to say it's something like 20% of snaps together.
Oh God.
It's somewhere between 20 and 35. It's in there. I know it is for sure.
And everyone with the Shaq Leonard idea, absolutely not until he clears waivers, and then maybe you think about it. Shaq Barrett, what's his name?
Leonard.
Yeah. So sure, but not when he's due $19 million in the next 3 years.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I would claim him after he clears waivers.
Yeah, if he wants to sign, but I have a feeling he'll go to a contender.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm really not against the idea of bringing him on. Another veteran guy.
Just don't claim him.
When he was right, he was really
He's a
good
monster.
against the pass, but he hasn't been right for a few years now.
Yeah.
Okay. Other than that, time of possession, Packers won 32-28. Packers had drives of 5 minutes, 5 minutes and 34 seconds, 6 minutes and 37 seconds. Packers sustained some good drives.
Yep.
Those are big boy drives.
But their touchdown drives, 251, 221, 129.
I'm okay with that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
If they balance that out and they have some big boy drives like the 6 minute one, and
I guarantee one of those 6 minute ones ended up in a missed field goal. Probably.
Yep. And the other one is an amazing field goal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I know. I remember.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now we can talk about Jordan Love. And I know Bryant has a game he wants to play, but we're going to talk about a couple plays real quick first. So this is so good. So Jordan Love finds Dontavian Wicks at the 30-yard line. After this plays, I'm going to pause it again because I want you guys to see something that I noticed right away. And it impresses me even more with Jordan Love.
That's so sick.
Such a dime, dude. Okay. Now, the first thing I noticed after watching it from this angle.
The step up in the pocket.
Nope. Well, I mean, yes, but that's not what I noticed as far as where the receivers are. Look between right around the 15-yard line. A.J. Dillon, wide open. Love could have checked that down and taken, 7 or 8 yards. But he keeps his eyes downfield and finds Dontavian Wicks for an extra 20 yards.
Well, he's somewhere wide ass open. Duh.
So I wrote on my paper because I was taking notes as we were watching the game, and right before this play, I said, if he took a sack, and it was the one where he held on the ball forever. I said, Jordan, you need to get rid of the ball is what I wrote down. And I put ... Holy crap, what a play to flip your hips and get the ball out there. I hope you have the angle that I shared from that tweet. Do you have that angle?
It's kind of close.
Okay. Because people can't fully appreciate this.
It's not the one over Love's shoulders, but it is still a back angle.
Yeah, so this one, if you guys can find the ground level one, whoever's watching, you want to see why the Packers aren't quick to move on from Jordan Love, watch that angle. This isn't just this. People say, "Oh, he's in the NFL." That's not just an NFL throw. This dude has a potential to be a special type of athlete, player, quarterback throw. To flip that and then throw it across the body like that on a rope to a wide receiver, we've seen that before by a previous quarterback that played for Green Bay.
That was fucking dime.
That is not a normal throw. Like,
good call on the flip in the hips.
Probably isn't making that throw. Other quarterback, Kirk Cousins, probably not making that throw. Like, that's a weird off-platform, weird angle arm throw on a rope. So with his head up the whole time, he steps up in the pocket, keeps his head up into the field. That's just a disgusting throw. And this is why anyone calling for them to move on to Clifford already is insane.
Or to draft a quarterback.
Yep, Jake just shared a mock draft for a guy who was saying the Packers draft a quarterback.
If they can,
I mean,
yeah,
right here, he could have. AJ Dillon's got his hand up. He could take a check down to AJ
that's a
Dillon.
third down. So to your credit, like what you're talking about, Tyler,
Yep.
if he checks that down, guess what? We're punting.
Maybe, yeah, we maybe.
I don't know how this drive ended. Probably in a score, being as that play, but or maybe that's just a missed field goal one. But either way, like that's just incredible.
This was like their second drive of the second quarter, I think. Yeah, I'm not sure because okay, but yeah, I mean, good call on the flipping the hips too. Just a dime, absolute dime. And then this is one other play, and this one is kind of important for a couple of reasons, but this is Jordan Love again making another really good play. I think this one's also third down, if I'm not mistaken. A tight window throw, which we actually did make a couple of.
Against Derwin James. That's not a nobody. That's an all-pro.
Look at the pressure in his face right away.
Yeah. That's the other thing, is because he knows he's going to get hit, and he still delivers a dime into a tight window. I mean, he's looking at 6 guys.
I'm not saying that this throw is more impressive, but if you're going to show a young quarterback and you're trying to like build his confidence, this is an NFL quarterback throw right here.
Yeah, he knows he's getting hit.
The pressure, the anticipation, all of it. Everything was perfect on there.
Now, this is sad. It's unfortunate because this is the play that Luke Musgrave gets hurt on.
Yeah.
Because you can see at the end, he kind of grabs at his rib cage a little bit. He stayed in for like another 4 plays.
Finished the game.
Yeah, what a freaking psycho, dude. I appreciate the toughness, but bro,
was this before? Was this before or after Jordan Love had missed him for like what would have been probably a 75, 80-yard touchdown too?
This is before.
Like,
yeah.
Like the fact for him to, and then he's screaming up the spot sidelines on that play, right? So it's just
devil's advocate. If Musgrave doesn't have a fucking bleeding kidney, is he running a little bit faster and makes that catch?
Shit, maybe. Maybe. I don't know.
Jordan Love doesn't know that his kidneys are bleeding.
Yeah.
Shit, Luke Musgrave didn't know. It's his kidney.
Insane. I'm glad he's okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Bottom
he
line.
didn't complain until Monday. That's probably because he woke up peeing blood and then probably had a huge bruise where his kidney is.
Yeah.
He won't play.
He's not playing Thursday.
Okay. They haven't ruled out IR for him yet. I think they have to probably. I don't know if you do surgery on a lacerated kidney or how you stop that from internally bleeding or how they do it, or they do an MRI. I'm not a doctor, obviously.
Probably depend on how big the cut was, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm not a medical expert, so don't quote me on that.
If they had to cut into him, I would bet anything that he's probably out 4 weeks. He'll probably end up on IR, which would be very unfortunate for the rookie season.
Did they put Bakhtiari on IR last year after his appendectomy?
No.
Because I think he only missed 3 games.
Yeah, but
but
an appendectomy is, taking something out, not sewing up a kidney. So I don't know how they really fix that.
I think there's a lot more cutting to do with an appendectomy than there is with a lacerated kidney.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not a doctor, just guessing.
There's definitely more muscle to go through in the front and in the back. So, your back has a lot of muscles too. I don't know. We'd have,
None of us are doctors.
We all failed anatomy.
I've watched a lot of House and Scrubs in my lifetime.
I stayed at Holiday Inn Express last night. You guys remember those?
Those are my qualifications. A big ER fan in my early days. Yeah. Okay. Brian, what did you see from Jordan Love?
1 second. Let me pull it up here. I had scrolled down to my game stuff I was looking at. So, absolutely great game by Love. He missed the one, obviously, throw to Musgrave. Had a few that he would probably make easier. The one on the sideline to Watson that they originally called that he was out at the 1. For 1, I don't know what the ref was saying. 2, he was clearly out. 2, if he would have caught it, it was a touchdown. So I don't know what the ref was saying on that play. Either way, if he throws that like a half a second sooner or just half a step sooner, it has a much better chance of being complete. Great catch by Watson, by the way. But really, there was just as many drops as there was, throws that he wished he threw a little bit better, but there was no like super egregious throws that I thought were bad. Anytime you complete, almost 68% of your passes, go over 300 yards, you're so close to the 350 that I called for. And then don't turn the ball over while throwing 2 touchdowns and then making some ridiculous throws. That's a pretty good game. So I thought he played a good game against the Rams. I thought he played a better game against Pittsburgh, and I thought this was easily his best game so far.
Yep.
And people can say, well, the Chargers defense sucks. Guess what? What are you supposed to do against the worst pass defense in the league? You're supposed to shred them. If he looked like crap, I would be worried.
Sure.
He didn't.
Yeah. And I'll throw this out there too. We do also hope that Joey Bosa is okay.
Yeah.
Like, we're not gonna be like, oh yeah, one of their best
Sounds
pass.
like he's avoiding IR, so that's good.
Yeah.
It wasn't. It sounds like both him and Jones, both we seen both those injuries. You were thinking, oh man, that's really rough. It turns out pretty good news for both of them. Barry, I'll caution just hopefully it's not 6-8 weeks because every injury is probably a little bit different. So
right.
Hopefully that's not the case though.
Yeah. And I'm not that I'm saying that it's different for, what I would call normal people, but Luke Musgrave is what I would say is a professional athlete. So I think that could probably impact his return a little bit too.
I hope it doesn't end the season. That would be
well. And on top of that, he has constant care, people constantly helping him.
Right.
Putting the right stuff in him, helping him do the right thing. So that matters too.
Yeah.
I have a kidney. I only need one. I will go to Wisconsin.
Oh, when Rodgers broke his collarbone the first time, I was willing to give him mine.
Yeah.
I don't need it. I don't throw footballs.
You're right, though, Barry, but hopefully it's not the case because I would hate for the season to end like that because he's just continued to look better and better.
Yeah. Jake, what are you thinking about Jordan Love?
So I'm not really interested in the numbers. All those numbers are great. Don't get me wrong. But for me, I just want to see his footwork. I want to see the quick decisions, which he's been getting better. And to Brian's point, he's kind of stacking these good performances, right? And we haven't even seen the peak where this is just the beginning. So for him to have 322 yards in just the beginning, oh boy, you guys better buckle up because we might have a third in a row. For me, I just want to see him gel, get playing time with these young receivers. I talked about it earlier. We have 4 top receivers that are just kind of good at one specific thing. They're just really, really good at that. And I just want Love to take advantage of that. It's going to hurt without Jones and Musgrave. That's a big loss. If we would have only lost one of them, I would have been like, all right, we can still handle this. But losing both of them kind of sucks. But
and Wicks for this week, likely. Yeah.
On a short week, too, on top of that. But, like I said earlier, might be the Tucker Kraft coming out party. So we'll see if Love can get something going with Tucker Kraft. And we need a Christian Watson game, dude.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. But Love and Christian Watson, they got to get it together this week. That's the next step for me.
My big thing with Jordan Love was his decisiveness is way up.
Yep.
Seeing the open man and ripping it. Barry said next year is Love's MVP year. Just wait, give him time.
I'd say next year it would continue growing, and then a year after that, if he continues at the pace, that's when his window opens up.
I agree.
Yep, that's fair. Jordan Love started the second half 9 for 9. His first incompletion was a ball that was batted down at the line of scrimmage. His second incompletion was a ball that was dropped by Dontavian Wicks. So he could have essentially started the second half 10 for 11.
That was such a good throw, too, to Dontavian that he dropped him that third down.
Hit him on the
That
hands.
was a dart, right outside of the quarterback.
And you guys already brought up the 300-yard passing. Jordan Love also third down, 5 for 8, 56 yards, just over 11 yards per completion.
I like that.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else you guys want to say on the Chargers game?
We own LA.
Touche. Yeah. Very fun game, like Brian said when we first started.
Yeah.
Okay. Now moving into the Lions game. Brian, what are you looking for from the Packers offense against the Lions?
Can we do my game, or are we skipping that part till later?
Oh, that's right. I forgot about your game. Yeah.
Okay. So, all right, I'm gonna have you guys guess the quarterback. All right, I'm gonna read out some stats, and you're gonna tell me who the quarterback. Okay, it's just gonna be yards, touchdowns, and interceptions.
Is it this season or
this season so far?
Okay.
You've probably seen a little bit of this going on Twitter or whatever, so you might know a few of these. But All right, this quarterback is currently at 2,743 yards, 16 touchdowns, and 8 interceptions.
16 and 8.
AFC or NFC?
It's NFC.
Is it Goff?
It is Goff.
Nice.
Ha!
Attaboy.
I figured the lot of yards was Goff.
Okay, so this quarterback, this is an AFC quarterback, sitting at 2,619 yards, 19 touchdowns, and 9 interceptions.
Holy shit. That's got to be
That's
Tua,
gotta
right?
be Stroud. Is that Stroud?
No,
Is it Tua?
no.
2,600 yards?
It's a lot.
19 touchdowns and 9 interceptions.
Holy shit.
Is that Allen?
It's Patrick Mahomes.
What?
We missed the low-hanging fruit on that one.
He has 9 interceptions already?
All right, this quarterback sitting at 2,497 yards, 15 touchdowns, and 9 interceptions.
Tua.
This is NFC.
Oh, okay.
Jalen Hurts.
It's Jalen Hurts.
Look at this fucking guy.
The NFC quarterbacks I got for some reason. I don't know. The AFC, that was tough.
NFC right here. This quarterback is sitting at 2,260 yards, 9 touchdowns, and 8 interceptions.
Oh, I should know this.
Stafford?
It's Matt Stafford.
Oh, hey, we're undefeated on the NFCs.
All right,
Let's go.
this quarterback sitting at 2,331 yards, 16 touchdowns, and 10 interceptions.
That's got to be Josh Allen.
Yeah, that's
What'd
got to
you
be
say?
Josh
It's
Allen?
It's Jordan Love.
Oh. Hey, I'll take that.
So what do you guys seeing? What's the one thing in common between Goff, Mahomes, Hurts, and Stafford?
They're
8
MVP
interceptions?
candidates.
What?
8 interceptions?
MVP candidates.
They all played in the Super Bowl the last 4 years.
Touche.
And
Oh.
Jordan Love's numbers are similar. And people are screaming about Jordan Love. This dude is his first year starting. It's a down year kind of around the NFL for quarterbacks. He has one more interception than, let me go back through it. He has 2 more than Goff, 1 more than Patrick Mahomes, 1 more than Hurts, and 2 more than Stafford, but Stafford has 7 more touchdowns. For people to be screaming and I'm not saying that Jordan Love is any of these guys. What I'm saying is that you guys a lot of people look at the numbers and freak out. What I see is a quarterback who's played 10 games where he was the designed starter for, and he's having, a little down on yards, but we can talk about drops and everything, but he's not that far off of any of these guys.
I care less about yards than touchdowns too. I mean, Rodgers was never a huge yards guy.
Yeah, exactly.
He would have 48, 50 touchdowns. I'm not saying Jordan Love's going to have that, but even if he gets 30.
So I want to be very clear. I'm not saying that Jordan Love is going to be Mahomes or any of these people.
Right.
But look at the weapons and I know Jalen Hurts adds a lot on his feet, but Jordan Love has added some on his feet too. But I would say A.J. Brown's better than any wide receiver on our team. Would you guys argue with that?
No.
I don't know.
I would say Devontae Smith at this point is probably better than any wide receiver at our team. Close, but
Not an argument.
better. Yeah.
Not an argument.
So I would say that Dallas Goedert was a more established tight end than any person on our team. So when you start talking about let him develop and stuff, and everyone's screaming for Clifford, it's open your eyes and look at it around the NFL. These quarterbacks, Jordan Love has proven so far that he is a starting quarterback in the NFL. Now he needs to prove if he's a starting quarterback in the NFL that you need to really have the right pieces, all the right pieces around to win the Super Bowl, or if he can elevate the team to the next level and win a Super Bowl. So people just need to give it time and stop freaking out.
We've seen good things from all of the Packers pass catchers in different games. Whereas even this week, Jaden Reed was one of the stars of the game, but Dontavian Wicks was actually the guy that led the team in receiving yards.
Yeah.
Rookie quarterback or rookie wide receiver. I didn't pull up the rookie wide receiving numbers this game, but I guarantee they're huge again. This is who he's throwing to. He's learning and developing the guys. So be patient.
I talked about it on Sunday, and I can.
Jonathan, I
beat
won't.
the Lions and Chiefs.
I'll
I
take
would
the
love
under
it.
on that one, but I would love it.
Yeah, I would love it. We're going to talk about how they can. So, we got that. Okay. I pulled up the Packers from Sunday. Their leading wide receivers. Number 1, Dontavian Wicks, rookie. Number 2, Romeo Doubs, second-year player. Number 3, Jaden Reed, rookie. Number 4, Tucker Kraft, rookie. A.J. Dillon. Luke Musgrave, number 6, rookie. Number 7, Christian Watson, second-year player. And then Emmanuel Wilson, Malik Heath, and Aaron Jones each had 1 reception.
Yeah.
It's
People
it's
should be
so
excited
fun.
that they're watching this grow together.
Exactly. That's
Those
exactly
numbers
what I
are
was going
not.
with that.
Oh, I got Cody who watches our show. I woke up to a nice text Monday or a message Monday morning. He said, because you guys went live after or whatever, and I said his stats and all this
Yep.
stuff. Did you know that Jordan Love this year has thrown for more yards than Justin Fields has thrown for in any season in his career so far? I gotta get my Bears shot in there, but like
twist the
Bears
knife.
fans, I guarantee, are like they probably watched that game and they're like, not again, please, not again. As they're watching their guy fumble away a victory that they're leading by 12 points with 3 minutes and 40-something seconds left. So
That's wild.
We're going to talk about that. So start with what you're looking for from the Packers offense, Bryant, against the Lions defense.
Once again, can we keep up? This is why I literally wrote this. I don't even know if we bother trying to get a running game going. We will run the ball to keep them honest, but I think we need to see some more end arounds, more Jaden Reed in the backfield is going to be a big thing for me this week, and some accurate short throws to act as a running game. Lions have a top 5 run defense, but they're in the middle of the pack against the pass. They're still only giving up like 223 yards a game in that aspect, but still that's much better than trying to run against them. They have given up 16 pass touchdowns. They have snagged 8 interceptions, 2 against Jordan in the first game. One was kind of a read between him and Dobbs, but and but the thing is they're not pressuring the quarterback crazy. They've sacked the quarterback just as much as we have. The one thing is we did give up 5 sacks against them. We cannot do that again.
Yeah.
It sucks that we don't have Musgrave because they were not great against tight ends. But really in this game, we cannot. I feel like we need to come out slinging it. I think Love needs to throw the ball again 40, 45 times, but we do need to gel up some easy completions. We do need to run the ball to try to keep them a little bit honest, but I would not expect a lot of success in this, but I'm very excited to see Jaden Reed in the backfield. I think we're going to have to see that. And then this is another game. We cannot, if we got lucky leaving 4 points on the board against the Chargers, we cannot leave 4 points on the board against this team. It will not. They're too good.
Jonathan said, watch, we're going to sneak in the playoffs and upset Detroit in the first round. I would love that.
Oh, man.
So much for the amount of trash that Detroit fans have talking about. It's
dude, that'd be insufferable.
Yeah, it's one of those situations where it's like an act like you've been there situation, and it's clear that Detroit fans have not been good, ever. Like some of the crazy things since the last time the Lions were 8-2. It's just wild to see some of the things that have happened.
Yeah, Brian.
Jake, what are you looking for from the Packers offense?
Just consistency. Stay ahead of the chains. I don't know if we can fully abandon the run, and I'm not saying that's what you're saying, but I'm in the same, thinking as we need to use the passing game as an extension of the run. Some screens, just get the ball into the playmaker's hands and just make it happen. Honestly, the Lions defense is so good because they play with a lead all the time. That's my personal opinion. Not that they didn't show up, but the Bears offense is pretty trash. And they were kind of allowing the Bears to kind of do whatever they wanted for 3.5 quarters. Let's call it what it is, right?
Jake, we talked about the Bucs yesterday where the Wizards took a 1-point lead and then it was like, all right, time to shut this down.
Yeah, and there's something to be said about, playing up to your competition, and we'll get into that tomorrow.
Yeah.
But why can't the Packers play up to the Lions competition, right? There's no reason. There's going to be no weather. So nothing to affect this game weather-wise. They're going to be playing on a fast track. So I say you put these speed guys out there, which, by the way, Jaden Reed now has the 7th fastest clock time for a ball carrier this season. 5 of those are like freaking Tyreek Hill because that guy's an Olympian.
Raheem Mostert's probably the other 2.
Actually, Achan's up there too.
Oh yeah.
The Dolphins are literally just
all
a
of
track.
You did in my running back rankings. So when we do draft prep next year, pay attention to me because I'm the smart one.
Yeah, we'll go with that. The Packers offense, Jordan Love just needs to get in rhythm early, get the ball in the playmaker's hands, and just let it go, man. We cannot let Hutchinson control this game, by the way.
Yeah. I will say the Packers' second half offense against the Chargers was humming. I brought up Jordan Love starting the second half 9 for 9. I mean, the Packers won. They got a game-winning drive and everything. That said, looking at how the Bears built their lead against the Lions is what I did to try to figure out how the Packers beat the Lions. So I looked at the Bears' drives, their scoring drives. Their first touchdown came by Justin Fields running the ball and then spreading the ball around to different receivers. So their first touchdown drive was 10-play, 75-yard drive in 5 minutes and 37 seconds. Their
Damn.
second drive was a field goal, 15 plays, 62 yards, 7 minutes and 36 seconds. So Chicago possessed the ball. Their third drive was a field goal, 10 plays, 50 yards, 6 minutes and 21 seconds.
How did they lose?
Because they're the Bears.
Holy shit.
I'm not done because they controlled this game. The next touchdown, Fields run, a deep shot on 2nd and 21. They got a field goal. 7 plays, only 20 yards, and then 3 minutes and 13 seconds. And then they got another field goal, a 14-play, 70-yard drive in 8 minutes and 45 seconds.
Almost an entire quarter.
How did they lose?
Because it's the Bears.
This makes no sense.
So to switch this, I'm going to go first for the defense because I am not shocked that the Lions were able to come back on the Chicago Bears. It's the Bears. The Lions are mostly healthy, so the Packers have another test. But if the offense does their job, continuing the momentum from Sunday, the defense can hold like the last 2 drives against the Chargers. The Bears gave up 2 touchdowns in less than 4 minutes.
Jesus Christ.
You look at the last 4 minutes of the Packer game, what their defense did to get 2 stops versus what the Bears defense did, which was give up 2 touchdowns.
Yep.
So that was what the difference was for me. So that's what I'm looking for from the defense is to hold throughout the game. Barry said we should start playing who's closer on the temperature. That's funny.
I'm down.
Bryant, what are you looking for from the Packers defense?
I put this will be a huge test for the defense. And now they're like I said earlier in the show, they're actually using Gibbs how they should be using him. He's going to give us all we can handle, him and Montgomery. They rushed for 210 yards against us last time. If we let that happen again, if they rush for 200 yards, we lose this game. Like, I cannot see a scenario unless we score in a bunch of short drives or we're just, firing touchdowns all over the field. If they run for 200 yards on us, we can't win this game, in my opinion. This is the best offensive line in the game. So we either need to bring some exotic blitzes to get home, or I would say be careful of when bringing in pressure and really focus on stopping the run and hitting our gaps. Goff can beat us with his arm, but maybe we don't have to dial up as many blitzes. We just, bring the 4-man and hopefully, our players like Carl Brooks and Kenny Clark can win some of those, a couple of those battles and make something happen. Goff has thrown 8 interceptions, so if we have that chance, we've had too many dropped interceptions on the year. I think Quay Walker dropped another one this game. You can't drop the interception in this game. This will be another one. Like at any chance we have to take advantage. So my biggest thing is we need to slow down that run. Otherwise, we don't have a chance, really.
Jake, what are you looking for from the Packers defense?
Yeah, so I saw 2 things. First of all, I saw that the Lions are tied for 3rd with the most drops this season. They have 19 drops. I forgot who they're tied with. Giants, maybe. So that's
San
surprising.
Diego after this last game.
Was that?
I said San Diego after this last game.
LA.
Who's San Diego?
SeaWorld.
That's where they
San
should
Diego
be.
Shamus.
That is where they should be. I agree with that. That is where they should be.
LA is the worst.
Not a
football
force
team
them to
there.
LA. That was stupid.
The Rams win the Super Bowl and they still can't get fans in their stadium.
Yeah, well, if they pay them, they come, right? For Monday Night Football. I haven't seen that lady since. But
Barry said the beach.
yeah, right. So after that, I lost my train of thought. Oh, okay. So here it is. Jared Goff. Jared Goff has the 2nd most turnovers in the NFL since 2018. 85 turnovers in 87 games.
Oh,
If the Packers are going to win this game, they're going to have to get turnovers and they're going to have to score touchdowns. That is literally it. Because the
touchdowns and
Lions,
turnovers, I like it.
the Lions are good.
Barry said I think they give free tickets and
My-
can't get fans
My
in.
birthday is on Friday. What I want for my birthday is to see after the game Jordan Love and Christian Watson standing at that turkey eating a turkey leg. Okay,
Nice.
Oh,
can we get that? Can we get that?
That'd be so
the
awesome.
mama the Mia, Tyler. The mama
There'd be a little
Mia.
extra gravy in my house.
You know,
Oh, fuck.
in Tyler and I's world, we have the Bucks and Celtics tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then we have Lions and Packers right away on Thursday morning, dude. This could be, and then on Saturday we have the Badgers getting the axe back. This could be a freaking phenomenal weekend.
Yeah.
It's really setting up for a phenomenal weekend.
I'm going to the hockey game Friday and Saturday night. So that should be fun. And then,
well, I'm happy for you. I don't give a shit. I hope that
watch the number one team in the nation play.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
The game's at 12:30, right?
Yes. Oh, 11:30. 12:30 your time.
What do you mean? I'm in the central time zone. Is it 11:30?
Pretty sure it's 11:30.
It is 11:30.
Oh man. Okay, perfect. We don't have people coming over until 5. I told my wife we need to wait.
Yeah, I'm not doing shit until like 4 o'clock, so I'm good to go, baby.
I'll put the turkey in the oven and I'm putting in the briner and stuff. I'm brining it tomorrow, and then I'll put it in at halftime.
All
right. Okay, Bryant, what is your matchup to watch?
So I was trying to find, there's plenty of player-on-player matchup, but this one I put Matt LaFleur versus the injury report. I know it's kind of, out of left field, but can Matt LaFleur get this team motivated enough and not have them use the injury report as an excuse? Hopefully they're young enough not to think that way, but they also just won a big game that, they're coming off a high and they have to turn around right away. But can he get them motivated and ready enough to not use the injury report as an excuse and be competitive in this game? The injuries are no doubt ridiculous, but no one's going to feel bad for us. So hopefully, we can be right there. But they need to have a plan. I like the fact that Matt LaFleur came out and said, I can't remember who he said, but someone was working on their game plan since Friday. So before they even game, because they knew the quick turnaround. So one of the offensive people was working on the game plan before even the Chargers game. So hopefully they're ready to roll. Hopefully he makes it very clear, and hopefully those people those players are hungry to fill another victory, right? There's no way to put it. The Lions have had our number the last few years, and I'm sick of it.
All right, Jake, what's the matchup you're watching?
The Packers versus the line of scrimmage.
Oh, yeah. Don't let anybody cross it, and they'll never score.
Well, the last matchup, September
0
28th, it was the first game of Week 4. The Packers lost to the Lions 34-20. That score is not indicative of what happened at Lambeau Field.
No, they whooped us.
The Lions absolutely kicked our ass, and it started up front. They were dominating us on both sides. They dominated our offensive line. They dominated our defensive line. You want a chance in hell in the NFL? You better learn to start controlling that line of scrimmage. The Lions are one of the better teams at doing that. They have a really good front seven on defense. They come at you. Obviously, the proof is in the pudding with their rush defense, right? 89.5 yards per game. And then they run the ball like crazy. They're one of the 3 200-yard rush games that we've given up. Yep. So if we're going to have a chance in hell, we got to fight.
So for me, I did pick one of the more basic matchups, and I picked Amon-Ra St. Brown. But for me, it's the difference between Jair Alexander and Carrington Valentine.
Mm-hmm.
Have we heard anything about Stokes this week? I'm guessing he's not playing because he hasn't kind of been doing what Savage has.
Savage was declared to return. I don't think they've opened up Stokes' window yet. Okay. I haven't heard anything on Jair either, so I don't know if he's going to play or not. But people gotta put some respect on Jair. It's sad that just because he's been injured this season, that people are like forgetting how really fucking good Jair Alexander is.
I wonder if because he practiced limited all week for getting ready for the Chargers, and then he sat out, and now he's been limited the last 2 games. So I'm wondering if maybe he was like, okay, I'm gonna hold off for the Thanksgiving game. I'm hoping, that's just me hoping.
Yeah, so. And it's the logic can work just as well the other way too, where it's like, hey, we got the Thursday game, and then we have like a mini bye.
Yeah.
So
it's true.
I can see both sides of the coin, where it's like this is the game you save him for versus you save him because he gets 10 days off after this game. So I see both sides of the coin. Now, where it becomes my matchup to watch is if Jair plays and we can have him against Amon-Ra and have Valentine as the cornerback too, I think that presents a big boost. And it shouldn't really have to be said that Jair Alexander presents a big boost. Because we saw what he did to Justin Jefferson last year. If he can do something similar to Amon-Ra St. Brown, I think that plays very well.
Hopefully, Barry.
Barry said the temperature is going to be full blast in the stadium and the Packers are going to be on fire.
I hope so.
Nicely done. Bryant, who is your X factor?
I put Jayden Reed, but Jayden Reed in the backfield. I do think that we could see them do a lot with him in the backfield this game. I think he'll line up more. The only concern I would have is with Dontavian Wicks being out. Maybe they need him out in the slot is more, unless they really, hopefully Malik Heath, he's going to get more snaps. Hopefully he takes advantage. We need our two, second year wide receivers to step up big. Like if we're going to win this game, I do feel like Christian Watson really has to have a big game. So
I feel like Christian Watson has to take some of the possession game.
Yeah.
Whereas Romeo Doubs, even though he hasn't had, all these huge, super big games, Romeo Doubs has 7 touchdowns.
Yeah. I just feel like we still haven't got Christian Watson in space, and we had the opportunity on that 4th down. Like I said, I want to see something like that. I want him in space. I want to see him run. I feel like we haven't really seen him run other than the one play where he got horse collared on all year.
Yep.
I will say on the subject of using them, and we talked about earlier using Watson on that pop pass, having that horizontal movement is something that could potentially help negate some of the pass rush a little bit, because you're having guys going east and west across your field of vision. Jake, who's your X factor?
I went real basic, but it's Love, and it's for this one reason. He has to remain poised. The Lions are going to come after you. I didn't watch the whole game because I love myself more than that, but I did watch rewatch some of the Lions and Bears game, and Justin Fields was making a lot of plays with his feet, creating time for his wide receivers to get open. I believe Jordan Love's going to have to do that to give the Packers wide receivers a couple extra seconds. Dontavian Wicks, we're going to need you on 3rd down, baby.
I don't know if he's playing.
He's going to play.
You think he'll come back from concussion?
He'll come back. He'll be fine.
I'm hoping. That stadium is going to be insane too. So if we could score quickly and kind of calm them down, like if we can get the ball in the first possession and score a touchdown, that would help mightily, because that place is going to be insane with the Packers. It probably was bad for the Bears. It's going to be even worse for Green Bay because, you know what I mean? So,
yeah, Green Bay versus Chicago. We know what you mean.
I'm hoping we don't have to kick too many field goals. I'm hoping it's a lot of touchdowns.
Yeah,
I agree.
Hopefully it's more extra points than field goals.
He also needs to make those.
Well, we're just not going to block, but the guy who's letting them get blocked isn't playing this week. So, my X factor is David Montgomery. This sucks. In week 4, David Montgomery forced 8 missed tackles. The Packers missed 13 in week 4. 8 of them were forced by David Montgomery.
That's good. Yep.
And I brought up their, Brian brought up their 210, 211 rushing yards. It's different depending on where you look, but 120 yards after contact. That's outrageous. They need to cut that number down by like 2/3. So David Montgomery is mine. Bryant, what is your key to the game?
So my key to the game is just slowing down the run. We've kind of been talking about it whole show. If we want a chance to win this game, we're going to have to slow down the run game. Jared Goff can beat us with his arm, but the one thing I know we can't do is let him run the ball and have 6-7 minute drives all day, unless we're scoring on our little bit of possessions we get. The last thing we can do is let them just run up and down the field.
Jake, what's your key to the game?
All right, I'm going to set the scene. I know that everybody kind of laughed at the Lions when Campbell went up there and he said, we're going to bite some kneecaps. That was kind of funny to people, right? Because it was the Lions. But I'll tell you what.
We never hope for injuries.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't cheer for injuries. The Lions have taken that mindset and really put it throughout their entire team. The offensive line plays angry. The defense plays angry. The running backs run angry. If the Packers, and this is my key, the Packers are going to have to match that energy and play with a little bit of an edge.
So they're going to have to need some bite caps?
Hey, you got to bite a kneecap, man. You got to bite a kneecap. It is what it is.
All right, my key to the game is to keep getting chunk plays.
Ooh, I like that.
So the Packers had, all right, here we go.
Oh, crack.
15, 15, 20, 32, 29, 17, 19, 27, 27, 35, 24. 11 plays of 15-plus yards against the Chargers on Sunday.
That's pretty good.
So my key to the game is to keep getting chunk plays.
See that Love has 17 plus 30-yard completions on the season so far this year, which leads the NFL.
8 have been in the last 3 weeks.
Yeah. Look at you guys. Look at us go. All right, Jake, how's the weather?
It's indoors, so I don't really give a shit.
All right. Bryant, give me your score prediction from the head.
This one's painful, but it's worked for me so far when I say we're not going to win. So, Lions 31, Packers 20.
Wow,
Dude,
that
that's
is eerily
really-
close to mine, but I just
Same.
changed where the 1 is. I have Detroit 30, Green Bay 21.
That would be sick, Barry. That would be just. Oh
Barry
my
said,
god.
throws the Rodgers Hail Mary pass to win the game. Oh my god.
Bro, I might rip my shirt off and run around outside. I'm serious. I am
Could you
so
imagine if
serious.
it's a number 89 that catches it too and it's fucking Benny Sims?
Oh my god, I would lose it. I would lose it. And then we get an extra play because of a face mask by Hutchinson. Oh,
Oh man. That'd be wild.
that would be crazy, Barry. I have the Lions winning from the head 31-23.
Yeah, we're all pretty close. All right, Bryant, score prediction from the heart.
My heart would be Packers 24, Lions 23. And
Oh.
we need some turnovers to make that happen. Did you put Yeah, the same thing as me.
I like it.
Well, that was easy.
I'm pretty close to you guys, but I have a couple less points. I have the Packers winning 21-20.
Wow, look at us.
I think for the Lions to be that low, they're going to have to turn the ball over make some uncharacteristic mistakes. So possible. We need to secure the interceptions.
Do you guys have any Simon Says you want to throw out there this week? I know no Simon this week.
Of
But
course. I mean, what kind of question is that?
I didn't do any because Simon wasn't here, but
All
I
right.
didn't do any because it's a short week and I had like 69 games to pay attention to this week.
freaking A,
Well,
dude.
all right. So
69.
I'll give
I
you
like
mine.
that number.
So my offensive Simon Says is Jaden Reed scores a rushing and a receiving touchdown.
in.
Ooh, I'm on board. I'm 100% for that, and that could definitely happen.
With the necessity of him is there.
Barry, I would be shocked.
Bro, if we hold them to 10 points in
24,
Detroit,
Barry Joe Barry lifetime contract.
Yeah. No, please don't have it. So that's my offensive Simon Says. My defensive Simon Says is Green Bay has more sacks than Detroit.
whoa,
I could see it.
that is a way we can hold the score down. I like that one. I don't think it's gonna happen, but I like that one. I think both teams will probably have like two or three.
These are supposed to be kind of bold. So
I really could see it being even, honestly.
Choking down the neck.
each team has the same amount of sacks, but obviously with Detroit's offensive lines, they've given up like 19, where we were like 27 or 26 or whatever it was.
Yeah, but think of all the shuffling we've done in the offensive line too. So
My perspective on it honestly comes more from the Packers side of it, of limiting Detroit's sacks more than it does about the Packers getting
Yeah,
more.
if we beat
Yep.
them, it's because our offensive line played so well, is what I would think.
And,
Yeah, it's
and
like
Zach
3-2
Tom,
or
who
something.
has been pretty good this year, did struggle a little bit against the Lions the first time. So if he's, if Zach Tom, he could have a big old circle around this game saying Aiden Hutchinson got the better of me in week 4. It's my time to get my get back.
Yeah.
If this game is circled on Zach Tom's calendar, maybe he's looking forward to it.
if the Packers, and this is like a big if the Packers can get the power run game going, because Dylan's obviously going to be the feature back this week. If they can get the run game going north and south and kind of stretch them horizontally with the pass, there's an avenue to win.
Yeah.
I can see it.
Barry said,
I
how
don't
many
think-
Lions interceptions are you guys guessing? I'm going to say 1.
I think if we get 2, we can have a really good chance to win the game. Or are you saying how many Lions get of Jordan Love, or that Lions throw? So
Well, he said Lions interceptions, so I assume
hopefully 1.
Lions
If
throwing.
we can keep him 1, but we pick off Jared Goff like 2 times, he did throw 3 against Chicago. I think we have a chance. Did you guys talk about Dylan at all? I think,
Lions throw.
yeah, I would say 2. It would be the.
I'll say 2.
Dylan's just looked a little bit different. I know he wasn't very effective in the running game, but I will say there was one short yardage running at, and he absolutely lowered his pads and destroyed the person. I'm like, where has this been? Stop running so high on the 1 yard when we need that, and just smack somebody.
Barry said 5.
So
If 5 interceptions happen, that's where maybe 34-10 instead of 24-10.
Barry, I'm going to tell you right now, if we get 5 interceptions and we still have to throw a Hail Mary to win the game,
Yeah, we're
I'm
in
a
trouble.
little pissed off.
it would be 7-0 at that point.
It would be like 5-3.
freaking Iowa Hawkeye score.
Yeah. All right. Anything else you guys want to say on this game before we get ready for Thanksgiving?
No, if you're going to watch the Packers game, try not to let it ruin your holiday for more than 15 minutes afterwards if we lose. Also, try not to go crazy. We have a lot of injuries, and this is a young team. Try to, hopefully the biggest thing I'm looking for is just remain competitive. Like, if we have a chance at the end of this game to win, I'll be happy. I know I say that, and I'll still be mad if we don't win, but in the grand scheme of things, coming back and reflecting on it, that would be a good position for us to be in because we'd be competing with one of the best teams in the NFC in their home.
What I'll say is we all from the head, our more analytical score prediction, have the Lions winning.
Mm-hmm.
What I really want is to be at the end of the game to not be in a situation where the Lions are just playing soft defense because they're up by 2 scores or whatever.
Yep.
I continue to want Jordan Love to be in situations where he gets valuable experience.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that reps, when you're down 30-20 with 3 minutes to go are invaluable, but it's a lot different when you're down, say, 27-23 with 1 minute and 50 seconds to go.
Yep.
That takes on a whole new perspective as far as the experience goes. So I like that Jordan Love has been put in a bunch of those positions, and I hope it keeps happening. Like, obviously, if the Packers blow teams out, that's great, but I want Jordan Love to get these battle-tested situations.
What's the turkey trophy? Is that like the MVP of the game?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, my guess would probably be Aiden Hutchinson. But
It'll probably be Montgomery if the Lions win.
Montgomery was the one that I thought.
It'll be Montgomery if the Lions win, and if the Packers win, it'll be Jordan Love.
All righty. Well, hopefully some of these good things we talked about happened, and then we are not going to recap this game on Friday. We're going to wait until the following Friday. We're going to have the weekend off for everybody and let Bryant enjoy his birthday and hockey because that's the one thing that's fun to do in North Dakota. So, all right. I will see you guys next Friday.
All right. Take care.